was one of those days that ages you exponentially as a coach, but at least we got the result we wanted. Very proud of our guys, especially how they played in the second half. And took a little conjuring, if that's the right word to use at halftime. But you know, this is a really good group of guys, but it's a young group that's still learning. And the thing I feel good about is I think they at least know that. You know, they know where they're at, and they know that you know, we gotta stay after it to get the kind of performance that we want. This one was not always pretty. There were a lot of interesting highs and lows to this game, but the one thing I think you're seeing is that these guys aren't quitting, and even when it is not as pretty as we'd like it to be, not as clean as we'd like it to be, they keep fighting, they keep battling, and these coaches keep coaching them hard. So just really proud of how they responded in the second 30 minutes.
Zach, I'm sorry.
Coach, what did you learn about your team going down like you did early and having all those setbacks with having to settle for field goals and missing the field goals and having to climb incrementally like that?
Well, again, you know, they keep battling, and you know, maybe that's a sign that we're slowly growing up. But even going back to our first year, Ben, these guys have never quit on us, and that's one thing that going back to even the 2011 team that was in some lopsided losses that year, we have not had that problem here. So, you know, what we talked about was tremendous effort and tremendous focus, and then just the situation we're in and digging ourselves out of this hole and just playing like we got our backs to the wall. I don't think we did that in the first half, but we certainly did it in the second half.
Zach, does this game kind of symbolize how your season has gone? Slow start, building momentum, just keep plugging away minute by minute, day by day, week by week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say we're perfect. We'd like to be perfect, but obviously we're making some mistakes, and those mistakes mostly happen in the first half. You know, like you said, we start off slow, we get our rhythm going, and then we actually start playing really hard. That's something that we really have to work on, though, is coming out in the first half and playing like we did in the second half, and that could really change the game.
Is it, I hate to say, is it luck that you get 5 turnovers for the second week in a row, but that's really unusual. You probably can't do that every game the rest of the season, but
that's a fair statement.
But how does that happen? Is it just being at the right place at the right time?
Yeah, it's you know, our players doing their assignments, being in the right spot, and you know, obviously there's going to be some luck involved. I mean, 5 turnovers, that's a lot, but these past 2 weeks, you know, we really are focused on our assignments, you know, really playing hard in the second half, and we just got to do that in the first half.
Coach, the way your team has responded in the fourth quarter these last 2 games, would you say they're really starting to learn how to win at this point?
Well, I think they know how to win. A lot of these guys were a part of the last 2 teams. As we've said from day one, they're playing a much bigger role, and that's the maturation process. That's the growing process that they're all going through, is playing 60 minutes and playing 60 or 70 snaps and not being able to look at the next guy, not being able to just say, well, Juwan will take care of it. No, I got to take care of it. And that's, you know, Jack is showing some of that growth, and there are a lot more guys that need to continue to show more and more of that kind of growth, and not just feel like, okay, we're in good shape, and somebody else will make that play. So it's a work in progress. All right, I know it, the staff knows it, and the team knows it. There's no question about that. It's a work in progress, but we are showing some fight, and don't stick a fork in us just yet.
Zach, could you put a finger on kind of what was going wrong in those first 4 drives when you get 3 touchdowns, and could you feel something click in after that? Or?
Yeah, I think people weren't using their eyes. You know, we had the guards pulling, people were thinning the wrong gaps, but you know, halftime we made the right adjustments. You know, position coach really went over what we're doing wrong, and we really focused on that, and we got it done in the second half.
The other thing we did was we played a lot of people, and we challenged some guys, and you know, we'll see the film tomorrow, but one guy that stood out that looked like he played pretty hard in the second half was Anthony Wimbush.
What was kind kind of the thing that made you turn to him a lot more in the second half? Because it definitely seemed like he was getting a lot of
Yeah.
those reps.
We're demanding championship effort, and we need to have 11 guys out there that are going to give us championship effort. And if that means we got to roll more people through and get more people more snaps, then that's what we're going to do.
What looks like with the offense, how are you gonna rev up touchdowns without the kicker today? And of course, these turnovers, it would've been another game.
Well, we won, I say that, and I'll say this, Rick, as I told you on Tuesday, this was the #1 defense in the league in several categories, and they were #2 in total defense by 5 yards. So I don't know what we had, but I think, now we missed some field goals, and we certainly could have made things a whole lot easier by scoring there at the end. And we lost our poise and had some mental mistakes there, which are unacceptable. So I'm not telling you it's perfect, but we just beat a team with a winning record for the 2nd straight week. A team that was atop the East standings, and a team I think is pretty darn good. So we're gonna be critical tomorrow. We're gonna be real critical tomorrow. But right now, you know, did we turn it over? My mind's a blur right now. I don't think we turned it over. So we got a redshirt freshman quarterback playing his 3rd game. I think we've had 1 turnover in 3 weeks. So that's pretty good.
With,
Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
with